Good afternoon and welcome to this week's issue of Print21, the weekly TV news video bulletin from print21.com.au. My name is Wayne Robinson. Today we're outside the local post office because Australia Post is in the news. For the first time in decades, it's decided to switch its mail deliveries from daily deliveries to alternate days. The reason for this is because Australia Post is currently dealing with a huge surge in parcels as the nation switches to online shopping thanks to the virus. Australia Post is handling 1.8 million parcels every day. That's more than it handles at Christmas. And its CEO, Christine Holgate, has just announced she's going to switch 2,000 posties into van deliveries for parcels and into the warehouses. She's also hiring 600 extra staff, but she's decided to switch resources, 2,000 posties, from mail into the parcels business. Interstate mail will now take 5 days instead of 2 days. Express post refunds have been cancelled, priority mail has been scrapped. All this will be reviewed at the end of June, but many in the industry fear that as Australia Post letter business continues to decline in volumes in cash, that there'll be no way back from this. And the mailing industry, of course, will find this problematic in non-daily deliveries. Also in the news this week, the petition to bring back print from China has been signed by almost 5,000 printers now. And Andrew McCauley, CEO of PVCA, presented that petition to Michael McCormack, the Deputy Prime Minister. McCormack was impressed, of course, and requested that Andrew McCauley, PVCA, AMWU and Marvel Bookbinding, the people behind the campaign, he requested that they provide a written submission for him to take it further. The campaign is basically centred on the fact that the government and government-funded institutions like art galleries and so forth are spending between $150 million and $200 million on overseas print, and because it's cheaper, that's the primary reason, and it's cheaper because the Australian government has loaded costs onto Australian business: superannuation, payroll tax, workers' compensation, GST, other taxes that overseas printers don't have to pay, and it's seen as really unfair that that happens. So that's a great campaign. If you haven't signed the petition yet, make sure you go up and do it. It's galling for Australian printers to have their presses sitting idle while the Australian government is spending money overseas. Also been sitting idle or completely idle for the past 5 weeks have been New Zealand printing presses. All but essential services in New Zealand have been locked down for 5 weeks, but the level restrictions have just gone to level 3. Printers can start operating again. It's been a really tricky, tough, disastrous, in fact, 5 weeks for the industry. Bauer Media, the magazine, the biggest magazine publisher in the country, has pulled out completely. Publisher of Women's Weekly, Women's Day, all those kind of magazines. While the presses are now back in operation, of course, the sales for April for New Zealand printers, commercial printers, general printers have been virtually zero. That's going to have a knock-on effect in cash flow in a few weeks' time. And of course, large sectors of that community, that economy, remain closed. Retail, sports, hospitality, tourism, events, all big spenders on print, none of them spending a cent right now. That's tough news from over there. Finally this week in the news, Kate Carnell, the small business ombudswoman, small and medium-sized enterprise ombudswoman, is pushing the government to legislate for 30-day maximum payment terms. Carnell is irate that big business is effectively using, as she says, small business as a bank, stretching out terms from 30 days to 60, 90, even 120 days. Carnell names household brands, household names like Myer, David Jones, Carlton United Breweries among the worst offenders. It'd be great news for the industry if she gets this through. That's it for this week's Print21. Go to the website for all the news, the magazine for a great read, of course. Go to the website for all the news. Plenty of information there on websites that are taking place, or webinars that are taking place over the next few weeks from various sources. Go to print21.com.au for all the information. This is Wayne Robinson signing off for another week.